Ever since I picked up a basketball, I've only wanted to do one thing: dunk.
Connell, pick and roll, Morant. Oh! Physical game.
But I wasn't genetically gifted. So in order to dunk, I would need a vertical of 38 inches or more. That's 10 inches higher than the average NBA player. But with my experience and training, it's totally possible. So I'm gonna take you through everything I do to dunk in 30 days. So let's fly. Here are the 5 training philosophies I will use over the course of these 30 days. Number 1, train as much as you can in the specific range as intensely as possible. For pretty much every exercise you'll see me do, I will only be using one leg. That is to develop strength and coordination within that leg. I will also do a lot of strength work in the specific angle of jumping. Number 2, train as much as you can. I let my body determine what I do for the day. On the days where I feel the best, I lift the heaviest and the fastest, and I try jumping the highest on those days. On days where I'm not 100%, I focus on rhythm and technique. Number 3, jump as much as possible. Fact, you can jump every single day, but it takes time to get there, and you should listen to your body to tell you when to stop. You need to jump in order to improve your jumping. No matter how much you're in the weight room, if you're not jumping, you're not gonna improve. Coordination, timing, and technique are all crucial to jumping as high as possible. Number 4, training splits. I never have a goal amount of sets or reps that I'm gonna do for the day. If I notice the quality, speed, or power has declined, I'll stop the rep, set, or exercise. I also like to take 3 to 5 minutes rest in between my sets for full recovery to produce the highest strength output every time I do an exercise. My exercise will consist of 4 criteria: heavy strength, heavy speed, light strength, light speed. Early on the journey, I will focus on heavy strength exercises, focused on building strength and the foundation. This is where I'll also be focusing a lot on jump technique. Then I'll move to heavy speed and light strength. This is where I'll try to be as specific as possible with my training, trying to replicate overloading the exact form I use to jump. And finally, I will do light speed and heavy strength with limited range of motion, focused on producing as much force as possible, as fast as possible. I will also be jumping and adding in plyometrics for all of these phases. And number 5, everything else. Taking care of my body, getting enough sleep, eating healthy, recovering, supplements, and more. Before we start the training, we're gonna need a baseline. So I'm gonna first try just seeing how close we can get to dunking right now, and then we're gonna do a vertical test. I'm much stronger with my right foot, but coordination-wise, I am at a severe disadvantage. So this first one, I'll just knock a bunch out of the way. All right, so we're already above 10 feet. Going into this test, I was happy if I at least got 30 inches. So getting 32 inches right off on the first jump was awesome. While I was strong in my right leg, I had no coordination, and all my jump attempts just felt awkward. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh my goodness! Those last 2 jumps got me hyped because I didn't think that I was going to be able to get those. So with a vertical of 33 3/4 inches, phase 1 of training officially starts. 45 minutes before any plyometrics I did during this challenge, I would take a collagen supplement to help my tendons become more elastic and strong for jumping. I use this stuff from Upper Echelon, and it's literally the best on the market for taste, nutrition, and price. Then a typical workout day would start with a basketball warm-up and then right into rhythm jumps, where I focused on trying to perfect my form. This helped me gain coordination and timing with jumping off my right leg without taxing my body too much. There was a hoop that was set to 9 feet, which was a huge blessing that actually accelerated my learning curve in dunking technique, because it was just high enough to push me a little bit, but not too high that I couldn't get a feel for dunking it. Something that I learned during this is that dunking is a skill. You don't want to just be focusing on jumping high if you don't know how to hold the ball correctly or go from dribbling to dunking. You need to be practicing dunks as much as possible. After some technique and rhythm jumps, I moved towards more specific plyometrics where I did single leg bounding. This is one of the best exercises you can do to develop leg strength, coordination, and timing that translates over to dunking. After plyos, I went to my lifting exercises where I focused on ATG split squat and a step up supersetted with a single leg knee rhythm bounce. Besides my ATG split squat, all of my knee exercises done during this challenge will be done at the very top range of motion. This is to develop as much power in the range of motion that is needed to dunk. On days in this phase where it wasn't a heavy strength or plyometric day, I would do exercises like 4-way hip, quad extension, hamstring curls, and sled pulls. This phase didn't last too long for me because my technique improved rapidly, and I already had a lot of foundational strength before starting this. So now it was on to phase 2, where we take that strength and we turn it into speed. Or that was the plan until this happened. I ended up pulling my groin and I couldn't jump for 7 whole days. But I wasn't gonna let that stop me from dunking. So I continued to train and heal and do as much as I could. I did as many strength exercises, extensive plyometrics, and proprioception as pain-free as possible to get me back on my journey. And by December 7th, we were back and ready to dunk. This side hoop at my gym was about 9'9" or 9'10". And I had this kid ball that I could palm, which made it really easy to practice jumping high and work on my dunk technique. It was shocking to see how fast I was adapting because the first day trying this, I actually made one, but the best part was that I knew I was only jumping at like 80% of my ability because of just how tired my body was. The main exercise for this phase was a single leg overcoming isometric quarter squat supersetted with a single leg assisted jump, as well as a single leg press bounce supersetted with a yielding quarter squat. These were done to focus on what I call reversal strength, which is the ability to drop down into a jump and then spring back upwards. The quicker and stronger you are, the higher you will jump. I could tell I was making quick progress with this because I came into jump a few days later feeling much better, and I was consistently dunking on that lower rim with a small ball. So with that accomplished, it was time to move to the 10-foot hoop with the small ball. I could also tell that I was getting a lot stronger with the lifts since the beginning, considering I started holding 25s in my hand while doing single leg knee rhythm bounces to having 165 pounds on my back doing them. During this phase, I also added some single leg concentric jumps to work on my explosiveness without tiring my body or legs out too much. As well as some extensive plyometrics to increase my ankle and foot strength. Day after day, I was getting better and smoother at jumping and getting closer to dunking. This attempt at my old high school was after playing basketball for 2 hours, so I was exhausted. But I was so close, I just kept messing up one thing during the jump. A few days later, I was recording another video when this happened. Out of nowhere, it just clicked. All the jumps that I've practiced, all the lifting that I was doing was finally paying dividends. I felt like I could really jump high and that I only needed a good day to succeed. But this day wasn't that. I went to the gym fully expecting to do a normal workout until I met this guy, Jeffrey Furman. I saw this dude literally attempting between the legs dunk, 360 windmills, scorpion dunks like it was nothing. So of course I had to go talk to him, and I'm glad I did. Having somebody who jumps a lot higher than you really makes you push yourself to jump higher. And what went from a day where I wasn't feeling super bouncy or powerful turned into one of the best jump sessions I've ever had. I could tell I was there. I just needed one jump where everything came together. Jump after jump, I was getting closer and closer. And then this jump happened. And after that, well, you know how this ends. describe to him, I don't know what you're doing. Like, this is, like, I'm in his presence and I just gained a few inches of vertical. Like, what more do you guys need?